A 10-hour standoff situation in Beloit ends peacefully. What we know about the man wanted for multiple violent felonies. And on Capitol Hill, the House is likely to vote on a resolution to impeach the president as the backlash from his comments about 4 minority congresswomen continues.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Wednesday afternoon. We have heat advisories now in our area, much of our viewing area today. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has a look at your first alert forecast.
Yeah, another hot and humid day, Mark, outside, and that humidity is sparking a few showers and thunderstorms, especially west of southern Wisconsin. Right now, a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for much of central and eastern Iowa until 7 p.m. We're watching that cluster of showers and thunderstorms as it continues to move to the south and east. I really don't think it will affect too many of us across southern Wisconsin, but we're keeping a close eye on that for sure. Also, we could see a few showers and thunderstorms just from the heat and humidity of the day form this afternoon across our neck of the woods. Temperatures up to 85 in Madison, 86 in Mineral Point, but dew points are very high. So it already feels like the 90s in Madison, already feeling like 97 at the noon hour in Mineral Point and 90 in Boscobel and Lone Rock. Here's a look in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam at partly sunny skies. You can see that humidity haze off in the distance. Temperatures will reach the upper 80s and low 90s once again today, feeling like the triple digits at times for some of us. And then we do have a chance of a few showers and thunderstorms overnight into early Thursday morning. Some of those could actually be strong to severe. We'll talk about that, plus the big heat and humidity on the way for Thursday and Friday in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, it's going to get worse.
Yes.
All right, Dave, thank you. A standoff that began just before 1 o'clock this morning in Beloit with police and a man wanted on multiple felony charges is now over. Police say they're proud of the peaceful situation considering the Rockford man's violent past and a woman in the apartment was along with him. Madeline O'Neill joins us live near the 2200 block of Burton Street in Beloit. Hi, Maddie, what can you tell us?
Hi, Mark. Emergency vehicles have just left this area. They were stationed here. Now, the apartment was located behind this church. That's where the woman in this situation lived. Now, just about an hour ago, police were able to get her out safely. They say that was priority number 1. Priority number 2 was getting the man into custody. And they say this is really the best case resolution for a situation that really could have gone either way at any time. They tell us 32-year-old Alexander Duke is in custody and the 29-year-old victim has no visible injuries. She and Duke have a prior intimate relationship and some of his violent past happened in her apartment and involves him shooting a gun next to her head. Police say because Duke was wanted on 3 felony warrants in Rock County and in Illinois, including kidnapping, recklessly endangering safety and sexual assault, and has a history with firearms, it made sense to form a tactical unit with Beloit and Janesville officers. Beloit's police chief credits negotiators who spoke with Duke on the phone with this peaceful outcome.
We never know which way it's going to go. We're really, in a sense, at the mercy of how the suspect responds to our approach. But I think our approach helped end this in a peaceful fashion.
Police are also crediting the community member who recognized Duke and called them originally at about 12:50 this morning. Beloit police tell us they've been searching for the suspect since incidents in late March, and they're not the only department. He's suspected of a crime in Rockford as well. Now, adjoining apartments had been evacuated. Police say those residents will be able to go home. This area was closed off to traffic. That's clearing up as well. Police say they're interviewing the victim right now to see if any crimes may have been committed in the past about 10 hours, but Duke has been arrested on those outstanding warrants. He'll be going to the Rock County Jail later today.
All right, Madeline O'Neill live in Beloit for us. Thanks, Maddie. Driving through Middleton will be much easier. University Avenue is back open after months of construction work. The $1.5 million project wrapped up later than originally planned due to weather delays after a wet spring. City officials hope new left turn lanes at Parmenter Street and University Avenue will cut down on congestion and reduce crashes in the area. Governor Tony Evers is preparing for his first trade mission in Japan. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation said today that the trip in September will include stops in Tokyo, Yokohama, and Chiba City. Evers will also attend the Midwest U.S.-Japan Conference. Japan is Wisconsin's 6th highest export destination, and exports in the first quarter of this year alone were up 11% compared to the previous year. Democrats are celebrating the passage of a resolution condemning President Trump for telling 4 lawmakers of color to go back from where they came. Republicans decried the claims of racism and called the vote a political stunt. Today, the House is expected to vote on Texas Congressman Al Green's resolution to impeach the president. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has repeatedly said she's not ready to move forward with impeachment proceedings. The 4 freshman Congresswomen disagreed, but told CBS This Morning's Gayle King they have yet to discuss their differences with Pelosi.
That doesn't mean that we fundamentally disagree or fundamentally disrespect each other's position and power and ability to be here.
President Trump is working to frame the women as representing all Democrats, tweeting, "They are now the top most visible members of the House Democrats who are now wedded to this bitterness and hate." Republican U.S. Representative Sean Duffy of Wisconsin called the 4 minority women President Trump has targeted anti-American. The 7th District Congressman defended the president on the House floor yesterday. Democrats asked that his words be stricken from the record, calling them defamatory. Representative Duffy said the president's remarks could not be racist because they didn't mention anyone's race. A federal judge sentenced Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman to life in prison plus 30 years. The court also ordered him to pay $12.6 billion in forfeiture. In February, he was convicted of all 10 counts he faced, including engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise and drug and trafficking charges. Before the sentencing, El Chapo told the court his trial was unfair, citing an anonymous juror who spoke to Vice Media about alleged jury misconduct. A youth-led rally is scheduled this afternoon in New York for the 5th anniversary of Eric Garner's death. The 43-year-old died after a police officer allegedly placed him in a chokehold. His death was ruled a homicide by New York's medical examiner, who said the incident triggered a fatal asthma attack. The rally comes a day after a major legal decision.
5 years ago, my son said, "I can't breathe" 11 times. And today we can't breathe because they have let us down.
The judge decided Tuesday against charging NYPD officer Daniel Padillo. He still faces charges from the NYPD. If he's found to have put Garner in a chokehold, a move prohibited by the department, he could lose his job. Kohl's is starting up an early hiring wave for back to school through the holiday season. The Menominee Falls-based company is hiring nearly double the number of early hiring positions compared to last year. The positions include distribution and e-commerce fulfillment centers, plus 3,000 store workers. Hiring starts in August. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. I'm next. We'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Throw on your clam diggers and bring your appetite, because we're whipping up a summertime favorite. I promise, these will melt in your mouth. If you've had the great fortune of either visiting or growing up in part of the country where fresh clams are in abundance all summer long, lucky for you. For those of you who may not have had this opportunity, once you try these fresh steamed clams that we're making today, you'll know what all the hullabaloo is about. Here we have about 5 pounds of fresh little neck clams. Since they're small, they're great to steam and are super tender. After washing them to remove any sand, we set them aside to drain. Now, meanwhile, in a large pot, we saute some garlic and a bit of olive oil. When it's tender, we add some white wine. After it boils, which takes no time at all, we add our clams. Make sure to cover them so that they really steam. Then we'll add some butter and a bit of crushed red pepper, and we'll let them steam a bit more until they open up. All that's left to do is dump these in a large bowl, along with all that flavorful broth, and let everyone go to town. Maybe serve them up with some crusty garlic bread for Dunkin' and let the party begin. To get the taste of summer as soon as today, head over to our website and look for what we call garlic steamed clams. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an ocean fresh way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Next at noon, the excessive heat continues today. It could feel like 103 degrees, and tomorrow the temperatures climb even higher. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has all the details next in your First Alert forecast. Nuclear power plants could see fewer inspections in order to cut costs, and new data shows how many people are sharing their streaming accounts. Mark Liverman has your Money Watch report.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says the Fed will, quote, act as appropriate to sustain the expansion. In prepared testimony before the House Financial Services Committee, the Fed chair cites red flags, including trade tensions and global growth concerns that could weigh on the U.S. Powell said although the economy is strong and the labor market is healthy, gains have been uneven, particularly for minorities. Tech giants head to Capitol Hill next week to testify before Congress about the amount of power they wield online. Top executives from Google, Amazon, Apple, and Facebook will be questioned by the House Antitrust Subcommittee. The companies are accused of having too much dominance over online activity. Spammers, AT&T has your number. The telecom says it will soon automatically block robocalls. The blocking feature will start with newly activated lines and then apply to existing accounts. It will be a default feature that users can turn off. And the Beetle runs out of fumes. Volkswagen is ending production of the newest version of its famed Beetle this week. The first version was designed in Germany in the 30s to expand auto ownership there, the way the Model T had in the U.S. The move comes as Volkswagen recovers from its emissions cheating scandal. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
All right, Diane, thank you. The Dow Industrial's down 47 points at the noon hour. The NASDAQ off almost 10. The S&P 500 down 8. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee is out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Dave's over in the Weather Center. I guess it could be worse.
I guess we could be talking about 100 degrees. That was the temperature on July 17, 2012. And 2012 is really the last time in Madison that we saw temperatures this warm, especially as we get into Thursday and Friday when we're talking about the mid to upper 90s possible across southern Wisconsin. The difference there was we were in a big drought in 2012. The complete opposite is true for 2019. And the humidity values, we'll definitely notice them a little bit more as we head into the next couple of days. Temperatures right now in the mid 80s in Madison, 86 in Janesville, 82 in Waukesha, and 88 in Prairie du Chien. But already with dew points in the lower to middle 70s, feeling like 91 in Madison, 97 in Mineral Point, and 90 in Lone Rock. Over the next 12 hours, our heat index values will continue to climb through the 90s. We actually could touch the triple digits as far as heat index values go before we do dip into the 80s, but still feeling quite warm during the overnight hours. And we need to talk about the possibility of severe weather overnight as well. We do have heat advisories and heat bulletins in effect for most of southern Wisconsin. These start noon tomorrow and go until either late Friday or late Saturday, depending on where exactly you're located. But we still do have alert days in the forecast for today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the hot and humid weather, with heat index values anywhere from about 95 degrees today to about 110 degrees as we head into Thursday and Friday. That's definitely possible with the high humidity values that could be present. Doppler track showing nothing really popping up at the present time across much of southern Wisconsin. We actually have seen a few thunderstorms just pop up closer to Milwaukee, but we're keeping a close eye on this cluster of showers and storms with a severe thunderstorm watch kind of with it across portions of Iowa. Really don't think that's going to affect too many of us, but with the high heat and humidity, we still could see a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. And we also do have a chance of severe weather. This is for late tonight into early tomorrow morning. So for the overnight hours, some heavy rain, some gusty winds, even some small hail possible. And also spots to the west across southwestern Wisconsin have a flash flood watch from tonight into tomorrow morning. So there's a lot going on in the weather department. It's not just the heat and humidity. Platteville and our Queen Bee Radio Skycam looking at mostly sunny skies, partly sunny skies in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. So temperatures once again near 90 degrees today. Slight chance of a shower and storm this afternoon, but I do think the better chance of seeing those showers and storms arrives late on tonight into early tomorrow morning. I think those showers and storms, even though they could be a little bit strong, move out by the time we get to about 9 a.m. tomorrow. That gives the atmosphere plenty of time to get those temperatures back up into the lower to middle 90s on Thursday. Could feel like the upper 90s at times for today. Then as we head into Thursday, we're feeling like the triple digits. And watch this, folks. On Friday, note the time here. This is 10 to 10:30, already feeling close to the triple digits across southern Wisconsin. So Friday, we may have to change the spelling of it to F-R-Y-D-A-Y because the atmosphere is set to try and fry us on Friday with temperatures in the mid to upper 90s and could be feeling like 105 to 110 at times when you factor in that humidity. Does look a little bit cooler as we head into next week.
And you string them all in a row, it gets to be dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. So we definitely need to stay hydrated, stay cool, and stay safe in this heat.
Absolutely. All right, Dave, thank you. Next at noon, a former Supreme Court justice is being remembered for his decisions that help promote racial equality, gay rights, and uphold legal abortions. More about John Paul Stevens' legacy next. Well, former Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens is being remembered for his towering judicial career. Stevens, among the longest-serving justices in court history, died yesterday after complications from a stroke. Jan Crawford reports on his legacy from the Supreme Court.
On the bench, John Paul Stevens was known for his fierce independence, old-fashioned geniality, and that trademark bow tie. He gradually transformed from a moderate conservative to a leading liberal voice.
I don't really think I've changed. I think there have been a lot of changes in the court.
I am confident that he will bring both professional and personal qualities of the highest order.
President Gerald Ford, in 1975, appointed Stevens to the court.
I will do everything in my power to render the best possible judicial service of which I am capable.
He would go on to serve under 7 presidents. His decisions in part helped promote racial equality, gay rights, and uphold legal abortions. But his biggest decision came in 2000, with the court's decision to stop the Florida presidential vote recount in Bush versus Gore. He told 60 Minutes 10 years later it was one of the court's biggest blunders.
I don't question the good faith of the people, the justices with whom I disagreed, but I think they were profoundly wrong.
Stevens retired in 2010.
He has stood as an impartial guardian of the law.
In his retirement, he gave opinions from the sidelines, calling for repealing the Second Amendment and abolishing the death penalty.
This is a country in which people can disagree without being disagreeable. I try not to be disagreeable in my opinion writing. I think for the most part I succeed.
Now, Chief Justice John Roberts said Stevens' quote, unrelenting commitment to justice has left us a better nation. He's expected to be buried in Arlington National Cemetery next to his wife, Mary Ann. Jan Crawford, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
And Stevens served on the court for 35 years. He was 99 years old. Here's Dave Caulfield. Speaking of the 90s.
Temperatures once again could get into the low 90s, and with that humidity could feel like the triple digits for some of us once again across this afternoon for southern Wisconsin. And on high-resolution Doppler, we've noticed a couple of showers and thunderstorms breaking out closer to Milwaukee. I do have a slight chance for showers and storms in the forecast this afternoon, feeling like the 90s already.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.